The second game was much closer early on, but T1 found their mark in Jackie Love every team fight, and again, dominated Top Esports.
Yeah, and now that mountain seems higher, that river seems longer for Top Esports. Not only do they have to beat T1, but they have to do it in a reverse sweep if they hope to find an LPL team in finals as we get ourselves in towards draft.
I have to imagine that Kiana is going to be the priority for Top Esports. Get it in the hands of Kanavi, something that he is extremely confident on. His only loss on the champion this year was against G2, against the Mundo. Question is, will T1 draft the Mundo for themselves? Last game, Dagda, you talked about how Pantheon has been an answer for them. But the question is, what could you even pair alongside that Pantheon in the mid lane? Champions like Victor really rise in priority in situations like this. But with the Scion open and the Trundle gone, it looks like that they will, in fact, lock that Pantheon in alongside that strong top side.
And now that becomes a little bit of an issue for, okay, what do we try and take to get through this Pantheon in that top side? Looks like Orin is going to be the answer for 369, but I still want to see something from that AD carry role that can do a bit of damage because, you know, your Sivir's gone, your Kai'Sa's gone. You need something that can be a bit more DPS heavy if you want to try and match this.
Okay, the Ornn locked in for the top lane, the Aurora there for the mid
he's
lane
gone
for
again.
Cream, and Faker now going to play the Mel again.
Can you reflect, Ornal? You must be able to, right?
Yeah, I'm almost certain you can. And that is not going to be a fun time for Top Esports. This was brought out for the first time 2 days ago by Faker in their series against Anyone's Legend, and he liked it so much, he's like, I'll bring it out twice. The Ezreal now going to be taken away by T1.
And the Braum, I think, is a really good response as well. Wow, so you'll see T1 just get rid of ranged options because they want to have poke of their own. To think about something that could pair nicely alongside that, they could consider the Caitlyn for Gumayusi if they want a little bit more range. Jhin is also something they consider. However, Jhin into Ornn, not necessarily the strongest threat into that tank top side, but it would facilitate some of the poke direction that T1 is going for. Alternatively, Lucian could be a very powerful bot side, but with both Braum and Nami gone, that does lower the value of that AD carry.
All right, T1, let's see what it'll be with Ezreal, Ziggs, Alistar, and Braum banned away in the second half. Both sides having those top sides fully drafted for our game number 3. I would assume the AD carry would be pick number 4 here for Gumayusi and T1.
Yeah, I think you can definitely go for Nash. Looks like it's going to be the pick, so very similar to what we saw the last time T1 were on the stage. It does end up opening up for a lot of, oh, wait, we can slow, we can look for picks, we can play for this, but your damage can be relatively lacking if you start to fall behind, since you do have a tank on Top Esports side as well. But I am curious what we're going to get now for Jackie Love again. I think wanting something with a little bit of higher DPS on the bottom side can work.
I was about to say Misfortune is something that I would kind of expect from Jackie Love, especially with more of the wombo combo that they're going for. They are hovering through a few options right now. Oh my goodness, Jackie loves Draven. We've seen so many Dravens come out at this tournament, but into Ashe, I don't know how great of a pick it is. Like, Draven needs to be able to close that gap. And against an Ashe who has the ability to slow you, we expect the Seraphine to come through. That's probably why they're hovering a hook champion, someone who can help close that gap, provide that additional CC. You can see how Top Esports have very much drafted for the team fights. They have a ton of utility, a lot of area of effect damage, and Jackie Love looking to bring the damage on the back end. T1 considering, rather than going for some follow-up on the engage, disengage in the Renata.
I think they have enough engage already with the Ashe and the Scion, even the Pantheon as well. So T1 trying to set up to be an absolute nuisance as Top Esports go for the engage, because TES's engage is very telegraphed, and it gives you that opportunity to send out the hostile takeover and make things a little bit more difficult, especially if you can look to reflect some of these engage tools by Faker. For Top Esports, they went back towards comfort once before. It didn't work out. But can Jackie Love's Draven, his signature pick, take them across at least one game?
So I have to pose the question, what is the game plan? What is the most important aspect of this game 3 for Top Esports? Because whether it was a super slow-paced game or a super fast-paced game so far, T1's been the better squad.
Yeah, I think Kanavi's impact on the map and trying to get this Draven ahead is extremely important. Remember that Ashe has such long range as an AD carry, and her poke facilitated alongside the Mel was something that AL really struggled to close the gap against. So in order to be able to find those engages, you need to not only have an advantage with your Draven, but you also have to have good objective setup. And I think that that really has been the area that T1 has gotten the better of Top Esports in this series.
It's not going to be an easy task for Top Esports as we get onto the Rift for game number 3. History is not in their favor. This series has not been in their favor. But they'll have to dig deep if they hope to take down the Korean powerhouse.
The last remaining Chinese team here in Shanghai trying to hold on against the back-to-back world champs as we make our way onto the Rift for game 3.
So immediately I want to draw your attention towards the mini-map. As you'll see on the bot side of the Rift, both top laners investing their early wards to help get that control over the early brush, along with a vision invested from Cream towards the mid lane to protect that bottom side jungle, as Kanavi is looking to start on the top side and path towards bot. Very much what we expect. Are they gonna... Oh, okay, so they're just gonna clear out the ward for now. But it does mean the reason why you'll see top laners do this specifically is they're like, oh, we don't care if you gank us. It's really not that big of a deal. So instead, save your ward in the bottom lane. Save it for when the junglers are likely going to be ganking you around that 4-minute mark so that you can be prepared and read the play.
Makes it so you're able to poke them down very effectively in the early stages. And if JackeyLove and Hung can't get aggressive in this bottom lane, it is going to be very difficult. And traditionally, that's where I'd look towards the jungle and be like, okay, well, you want to have something that can, facilitate these plays, try and be that spearhead into the bottom lane to enable JackeyLove to follow up. But Qiyana is very good at dealing damage, but is not great at setting up. So a huge amount now rests on the head of Hung to see if he can find these crucial hooks when Kanavi makes his way down to the bottom lane.
Earlier I mentioned that I expected Kanavi to start on the top side of the jungle. However, he's actually transitioned over towards bot. We just saw JackeyLove helping him take out that red buff so that he doesn't have to go for an early base is very much what I expect, meaning that he's pathing towards the top side of the map unless he's got some creative early pathing plan. We'll keep track of him here as he secures his raptors.
I think Kanavi just needs to try and avoid Owner. This is what we saw in the Anyone's Legend game where Owner just end up syncing up with Tarzan and making it really difficult for the Qiyana to actually be effective in any of these lanes because the Pantheon is so strong in these early ganks. So if Top Esports are able to desync Kanavi, maybe there is a chance where he can actually get access to the bottom lane when T1 are not on that side of the map.
And you can see in the first couple of games, Owner's performance versus Kanavi, just a much better showing so far from the T1 jungler. A part of more than 80% of the overall kills scored by the team, has been doing exactly the job that they need him to do and has been controlling those early games as well. Plus 200 gold at 14 minutes just shows he's getting that value early and keeping it.
Oh, he absolutely was, and he really has been the heart of T1 throughout this year. That's why at this World Championship, so much praise has been recognized and given to so many of the other members because of how much they've stepped up. But so much of this year's accomplishments by T1 have largely been driven by Owner, who so far in this series has been spectacular.
Doran now could be the target, knocked up into the air by 369 Kanavi. He has the river to try to lock him down. Decimating smash won't matter. It's first blood to Kanavi and Top Esports.
Great patience from Kanavi, waiting for the flash from Doran before he committed the root, allowing him to then get the additional W into Q. As Cream getting very dangerously low, but he'll back away.
Navi even flashing the JDG logo, remembering his roots, but we'll have to see now. Faker might be in trouble.
Yeah, Faker, no mana to work with, only 400 HP. Kanavi still has Flash, but Faker has Owner. So that means the Top Esports have no play to make.
And this is what I was talking about. If Kanavi ever runs into Owner, it's a difficult time because that burst damage from the Pantheon plus the tankiness makes it very difficult for Kanavi in the 1v1 and 2v2s. But still, nice gank in towards the top side. It means that Kanavi going to be able to pick up his serrated Dirk and be in a very good spot as he continues out onto the map.
Kanavi going to interrupt the back from Owner.
Yeah, Owner losing half HP there. Solar Snare does not hit the Kiana. Owner has to throw up the shield, get a little bit of extra distance and walk away from this one. Meanwhile, bottom side, Jackie and Hong going to be forced back underneath that tier 1 turret. Keria and Gumayushi having a fine time against this Draven bottom lane.
So you asked Flowers, what is it that we want to see from Top Esports? And for me, it was very much about Kanavi being proactive on the map. And the fact that he's already secured first blood is a great start, but I want to see him translate that pressure towards that bottom side of the map. Draven as a champion needs to be accelerated, simply tied to his passive. He is relatively short range later into the game. In those hyper late games, he becomes very difficult to execute as the late game threats increase. The mid game is where he spikes, and you want to support that passive to allow him to spike effectively.
I don't think Top Esports are in a position to help Jackie Love at the moment, though. You can look at the reset coming through from Kanavi. He just cleared out his bottom side jungle before going for the reset, which means he can't actually get involved in the bottom lane. And now he's going to be moving back up towards this top side of the map as well. So across the board, it means that Top Esports going to be putting a little bit more pressure on the top side. Now, it does mean 369 going to be able to punish Dorn in the position that he's in. But unless you can get another kill for this Kiana on the top side, it means that Jackie Love is just going to continue to struggle in this bot lane.
Okay, another nice route there with the Solar Snare for Faker. Sets up so well to combine with the Radiant Volley to hit just all of those projectiles immediately there for the follow-up. Faker is playing on a very low amount of health, but Cream doesn't really have the mana to try to punish him. Faker needs to flash away there as Cream goes between worlds, hits level 6, wants to immediately drop that ulti to get the flash out of Faker. Now up in the top side, Ornhorn coming in. Doran's gonna get dove, he tries to pop the shield. He'll die, but 369 will fall too. It's a 1-for-1 here in the top lane.
369's life for Kanavi, making sure this Kiana can continue to get the kills, and this was the trade-off that we were talking about. Top Esports needed to invest time on the top half for Kanavi, and they do get the kill.
I mean, normally we see players not really invested into trying to camp Sion, but the fact that Kanavi is the one picking up all these kills, he's built up a very healthy lead, and the beauty of this wave is it's now pushing towards 369, so it doesn't matter that he doesn't have his TP available, but it also especially doesn't matter because he's pathing towards the bot side of the map. The Draven going to be the one to send up towards top, secure that wave, and also be in a position to contest the grub spawning in a minute and a bit.
We'll also give Kanavi the level 6 nice and early here as he starts to match Owner already hitting his. He'll be able to move up towards the top half, look towards this big ultimate for the available fights, and Cream has already burned Faker's flash. Now, Faker does have that reflect, you always got to bear that in mind, but if Kanavi can find Faker in these fights, there is enough burst damage to set up alongside Jackie Love to very quickly erase a T1 member off the map.
I mean, we don't see a lot of Mel in professional play, but Rebuttal is on the same level as something like a Yasuo Windwall with just how teamfight warping it can be with the proper timing. Keria going to go ahead and clear out the vision from Top Esports in this Drake pit. Doesn't look like anybody's really concerned with trying to go after that objective here in the immediate future, considering those grubs are only 30 seconds away. 369 down here in the bottom lane. Does still have a little bit of a timer left on the cooldown there for the Unleashed teleport. Same story can be told for Doran, who is still up in the top lane near that grub pit. But I would think that 369 should have the summoner ready to go to join the grub fight if that's what Top Esports wants. Remember, they've claimed all 3 grubs in the first 2 games so far.
Jackie Love ticks over to level 6. Gumayushi been sitting on that for a little while, of course. The Ash Arrow will be something I'll be keeping my eyes on, especially if he uses it in conjunction with Owner's ultimate. Yet to see Owner have much impact in this early game, but with the level 6 himself and the Dragon being started off, this will be the first objective of the game, and T1 is looking to secure it.
Yeah, just the trade with Top Esports being in a better position on the top side of the map. T1 happy to look for this, and they should be able to continue what has been basically the Dragon stacking for them all series long, and enabling the ability to try and play for these team fights later as the game goes on.
All right, 369. Just going to try to keep Gumayushi away as much as he can. Meanwhile, topside, Kanavi looking for maybe another opportunity. No, goes ahead and takes the recall as Hong and Jackie Love are going after Doran. The Scion is the focus here in this game. They knock him low.
175 stacks on Jackie Love. That ultimate continues to get stronger as the stacks continue to grow. For now, though, his priority is on getting that farm, Keria in a position to provide that cover. Jungler's just continuing to clear through the camps, but Doran needs to be careful because he doesn't know this, but Kanavi is on the top side of the map and could pay that Scion a visit.
Kerry looking to try and cover though, and this has kind of been the job that Kerry has been up to all of this early game, has been making sure he can be in positions where top esports are trying to make plays. But he's going to look for the reset, and the wave is starting to push out. 369, a little bit of trouble on the bot side.
Yeah, Gumayushi making sure he takes this trade as long as he can take it, since there's nothing 369 can do in retaliation. Cream wants Faker. Kanavi goes in. Kanavi takes a lot of damage from the turret, but he gets his man. Now Owner tries to get the follow-up kill, and he flashes for the point-blank Q, so that Kanavi cannot escape. It's a 1-for-1, but it's 3-2 for Top Esports. They'll claim the Fetal Warfare.
Owner with the cover, make sure that he's able to get one back, but still, it's Kanavi who is constantly looking for these dives. He is so much more active in this game.
Kanavi making his presence felt. Hung, vicious for a hook onto Hona. Very dangerous fight to take, especially given the health discrepancy that we're seeing from Cream right now. Kanavi is snowballing so quickly though. Already he has completed the Profane Hydra. And this Kiana is getting accelerated. It's what we wanted to see. Top Esports, they need to keep this momentum going if they want to start the reverse sweep.
Kanavi and Tarzan being those two big LPL junglers throughout all of 2025. Kanavi now on this Kiana that he's 5-1 now, I believe, with in professional play this year. So now we'll see, with all the money, with the carry opportunity in his pocket, can he be the one to keep this series alive for Top Esports, who are now again looking for a dive, this time onto Gumayushi. Hong wants to try to get away from the turret, but it's a 1-for-1. Guma does enough damage to make it an even trade.
But Top Esports are continuously happy to make these plays work. They're getting the kills for Kanavi, but they're crucially getting the kill on the laner, which means you're not getting that same experience level on towards the individuals on T1.
And it's critically not on the Draven. Jackie Love doesn't get the chance to cash in on all those stacks. 240 nearly now for this Draven. Really would like to get paid and cash out on some of those.
Hey, I mean, there are small optimizations, but Top Esports is definitely making stuff happen, which is more than can be said from what we've seen from them so far in this series. Top Esports want to keep this momentum going. Kanavi hovering around the middle lane. Ona has been continuing to farm through his jungle. He's got a sizable CS advantage, a bit of an XP lead over Kanavi. And the gold overall largely remains even because Gumayushi on the side lane has been farming up those plates along with a bit of a CS lead of his own that Jackie Love has finally been able to close.
Kanavi already an item and a half in though before a lot of people have completed their first. This Kian is incredibly strong, but it is going to be a case of trying to find value in these fights. Has to work around Carrier's ultimate, work around the rebuttal on Faker. But as long as you can do that, I think you're in a decent spot here as Top Esports to play around your jungler. And oftentimes when we've seen Kanavi in these sort of do-or-die situations, he's taken that mantle on. Like you think, cast your eyes back to the Belveth that he played for JDG in 2023, saying, I will be the carry, I can do it. Wasn't successful then. But now, with the tournament life on the line, he wants once more to be the carry for his team.
He's looking for Faker yet again. Has the grass enchantment for the invisibility, but he's not going to find the angle. Doesn't have the range. Solar Snare, also not quite the range to catch up to Kanavi there, as Owner is waiting in the jungle. But if you're Top Esports, if you're Kanavi, you have to know that the bottom lane priority has belonged to T1, so that bottom half of the jungle is not safe.
Good read.
Absolutely. Very, very good reads. Kanavi will get a few little scraps of the Raptor camp.
Chicken nuggets.
20 seconds now until the dragon spawns. Bases are going to quickly come through from T1. No TP available for Faker, as Cream is already back out onto the map. No completed item for him, whereas we see the Blackfire Torch now finished for Faker. Top Esports, will they feel confident enough to go for this early fight? As Top Esports is setting up around the dragon.
All right, Top Esports, there's 30 seconds left on the clock until the turret plates fall. So if you're T1 and you want to try to grab one of those instead of go for the Drake, well, the problem is you're not getting a whole lot of a great chance to do it. 369 still holding the fort up there in the top lane. Now for T1, you do have teleport available on Doran, but there's no teleport for 369.
I think they're looking for a pick on the bottom side with Top Esports. The Between Worlds available for Cream, but Gumayushi spots out Kanavi. and will manage to step away. But Top Esports invested a lot in shifting down towards this bottom side, which means that T1 get to move in towards River first.
And critically, 369's teleport now is available yet again. So Top Esports, they're going to try to commit everybody to this. Doran has already teleported into the area first, but Ornn's about to arrive into the mid lane. T1 get engaged on. Hong's ready to go in, but the hostile takeover over the top tries to keep him alive. Keria staying up here for a little bit longer. Keria and Faker are both very low. Faker survives. JackeyLove under pressure. Gumayusi wins the AD carry battle, and Top Esports have already lost 3 men. It's about to be 4. Keria may have died, Faker may have died, but Top Esports are going to lose everyone. Owner and Doran bury the last one. It's an ace for T1.
Kanavi got one shot at the start of this fight. Look into the pit as Kanavi goes over the wall. Owner says, not a hope in hell, buddy. Doran and Owner shut him down. And on the top side, as Top Esports try to make that fight, JackeyLove gets focused down by Gumayusi and cannot make the difference.
I mean, Keria had a fantastic Renata ultimate on the top side of the fight because it looked like Hong had connected absolutely everything. But once that Renata came down, they lost everything.
We're not done though. It's a pit coming in for Top Esports. They find Keria in the enemy jungler. They catch T1 unaware. Now Faker with a rebuttal. Hong still manages to close the distance here with the dread line, but Owner's ready to show up and offer a little bit of assistance. Cream in some danger now. There's the execution. There's the damage. There's T1. Owner and Faker get one back as Top Esports are still on the retreat. Hong now stunned up by the Pantheon. A little bit more damage from a point-blank Comet Spear, and Owner's unstoppable. Top Esports take the Herald in the meantime, but it's more kills over to T1.
Top Esports looked unsure about what they wanted to achieve. Kanavi was sticking in the pit, whereas the rest of JackeyLove and the rest were trying to move in towards that topside jungle to find the plays.
Owner in the enemy jungle, stacking up his Comet Spears, was waiting to see if Kanavi would just greedily jump over the wall and try to start the blue buff. Kanavi finds him there, as now Doran coming in. Big collision on JackeyLove, and Gumayusi picks up the free payday.
No flash on the Draven means that T1 can simply run him down.
Oh no, Kanavi! What was that? He jumps into the middle of everybody, and the Comet Spear to execute him. The pressure of elimination in the semifinals is crushing Kanavi as Owner tanks up 369 for the time being. Hong with the pressure onto Guma. Cream goes between worlds, tries to jump in. Gumayusi about to die. The bailout will not save him. Top Esports, they need more now. Cream wants to get out, but the Solar Snare locks him up. Faker gets the return kill as Faker and Keria duel with Hong and 369. A triple to the Ornn, as that will be the execution through the Golden Eclipse for Faker to take out Hong.
Blood has made its way to the Rift as both teams have taken the gloves off. Top Esports don't want to walk away with nothing, so they bring the fight to T1. It ends up, considering the gold deficit, quite good for them, finding a couple of kills. The problem is it's the Ornn getting the shutdowns. 1,000 gold secured by 369 after he takes out Owner, but the ulti back in from Owner, who's been having a fantastic game 3. 6-1-1 the scoreline. Let's look back as this is started by Kanavi getting caught.
This started horribly because they've just lost JackeyLove in the back, Owner with the snipe, and then T1 think maybe, hang on, we don't want to be around here, as Top Esports look to collapse. 369 gets a good Ornn ultimate to set up for Hong and Cream to go for the in-between worlds. But as you call it, Betty, it's all this extra gold going on towards the burn from 369, taking that one. Cream then gets focused down as Faker comes in through that bottom side, and it's just 369 getting so much of this gold.
The TP in from Faker towards the Raptor pit. He pushed out that top wave. He arrived behind and provided the much needed damage to help get a few kills back for T1, but we return to the Rift as they push on the top side.
Kanavi goes in, but his ultimate doesn't get a lot. Owner with the shield ready to continue the counterattack as Hong will be first to die. Faker takes the kill, and 369's their next target. Solar Snare won't hit him. Horn maybe for the counterattack. 4-man knockup from 369, but it is not enough. T1 still over 2,000 gold ahead. Whirling Death will not find a snipe.
It feels like Top Esports is getting desperate. They force a 4 versus 5. Cream is in the bottom lane with no TP available. That pressure is now even going to be matched by Doran. It won't convert into major objectives, but T1 find themselves more kills.
Yeah, and it feels like desperation for Top Esports, because that's exactly what it is. T1 have run this region for such an incredibly long time, and it feels like it's just going to be another notch in Faker's bedpost as they start to move forward.
And we can see the engage comes through. The combination between 369 and Kanavi takes off half of Ona's HP, but that's all it does. Gumayushi and Faker are completely safe. They know they have the numbers advantage. Jackie Love is afraid to approach with the collapsing Scion, and it converts into 2 kills for T1.
There's just no damage there every single time. Like, great knockup from 369, but we're back to it again.
We might be fighting once more. Rift Herald summing up mid lane here from Top Esports. But T1 are looking to knock the thing down before it ever even gets to charge. Plus 25 gold, might as well have been a melee minion. T1 hold the line there, and now the next Drake has spawned. Whoever secures this objective will secure the feats of strength. T1 first to the area, control over the bot side river, trying to defend their control ward. Jackie Love has the axes spinning, ready to step up, try to clear the vision. Cream pincering around, looking to try to cut off T1, coming behind them. Top Esports backing away now on the main front. Cream shows himself, ready to try to enter into the fight now, but a lot of lockdown. Nobody finds the first kill. Kanavi is dead. Cream's next to follow. Top Esports jungler is caught again, and now everyone else has to run. Jackie Love with the flash over the wall just to try to survive. Hong is running. T1, they want more kills. 369 and Jackie get enough distance to get away, but T1 have claimed the feats, claimed the Drake, claimed the tier 1 turret. Otacon's live on the map, and T1's got a 4,000 gold lead at Soul Point.
Renata stocks are going to be at all-time high after this game. Keria with another fantastic ult as they just see Cream go invisible, thinking that might be the engage, but immediately Keria responds, and T1 are able to chase down the back line as there's nothing Top Esports can do.
It's so difficult for Jackie Love to do anything in these fights. He was just pushed back by Doran. He was tickling this Scion as the rest of T1 handled the flank from Cream, shut down Kanavi, and won in a landslide victory. They find themselves at Soul Point. They're looking to go 3-0 in this series. 369 will flash away. T1 are in the heads of Top Esports.
Top Esports look completely frazzled right now, 20 minutes in to this third and potentially final game in this series, potentially the last game they will play at Worlds 2025. They have not made it to the semifinals since 2020. It's been 5 years for Top Esports getting back to this point. They've never made it to the finals, and T1 wants to keep it that way. Faker's the target for Top as he tries to get the route to buy himself a little bit more time, but Faker is shut down. Cream's the target now for T1. Flashes over the wall, but Owner's ready to flash follow. Cream dies, mid for mid. Gumayushi with a flash forward, and he's putting arrows into Jackie Love's back. Jackie gets away with a Kimtech blast cone, but the rest of the arrows continue to focus fire. One more volley takes him out, and Gumayushi gets it done.
T1 will not let Top Esports rest. It has been so many years that they've continued to find picks and plays.
And Kanavi again just picking the wrong moments. He goes in, he survives for now, but it costs Hong's life this time instead. T1, 4,000 gold lead still, Soul Point still. And look at the mini-map. It looks like a Christmas tree of red pings. Everybody's calling for Otacon.
Ona adds another notch to the spear as he goes to 9, 1, and 3 here at the 2025 semifinals. What a monstrous series it has been from him, as the early game was going the way of Kanavi, but the rest of it has gone the way of Ona.
12 years T1 have beaten the LPL in best of fives at Worlds. 5 years Top Esports not making it to finals. 3 last years it has been T1 that have taken down 369, and it looks like that reign will continue.
And this pick onto Faker looks like the start of something. but the collapse from T1 is just so fast. Ona and Doran are there to shut down Cream. Jack11 and 369 trying to regroup, but they then become the targets of the hunt. The slows from Gumayusi set up for the chase onto Jack11 as he desperately tries to escape. It is not enough, as the single kill onto Faker costs them 2 on the escape.
The clock ticks ever forward against top esports. T1, it's 75 seconds until the Chemtech Soul spawns. Kanavi on the flank. He's got to find some sort of a major redemption play. He finds a route onto Keria and nothing more. Now he's marked. Kanavi trying to do something on the side, but it's Hong here on the front line that's taking most of the burst. Owner's still in the middle of everybody. The redemption coming in to save him, and the bailout does just that. Cream at least gets one. Hong at 200. JackeyLove trying to fight, but the decimating smash guarantees that he can't. Gumayusi knocked down as we've got a 3-for-2 favoring T1. Faker's not even been in the fight though, and Mel is ready to make her arrival. Cream, the only damage really left for the side of top esports. Faker pops the rebuttal, and Keria is still alive. Solar Snare locks up the Ornn, and 369. The countdown's about to hit 0. They're just waiting, trying to stall this out as long as they can. Make sure that he's not alive at all for the Dragon Soul. They'll kill the Ornn, and it's another team fight for T1.
It's simply a brawl in the mid lane. Fists go flying as Hong looks for a hook. Keria being zoned off on the side. Ona tanks it initially, but he has the bailout to bring him back into the action. The ulti from Kanavi really doesn't convert into much. He ends up falling first, and as the rest of top esports try to keep the fight going, Gumayusi does everything he can to take out JackeyLove.
And it was a success. The 80 carries managing to battle it out and take them down. But now you can see 369 just perplexed. He is trying desperately on this Ornn to find some way to structure the fights, but T1 are not letting them find their footing. And now JackeyLove up in topside, threatening a Baron, but I think T1 happy to take that fight if it comes to us.
T1 pushing their way into the topside river. Dagda, you mentioned early that lifetime record of T1 against the LPL at Worlds. JackeyLove forced to flash over the wall. Doran flashing after. Here comes the Comet Spear, ready to fly over the top of the decimating smash, but Redemption keeps Jackie alive. Maybe the kill from Kanavi, but no. At least Faker should die here through the bailout, so Cream's gonna get the credit on that one. But T1 aren't done. Cream goes between worlds. 369 with a 2-man knockup. Top esports, they found Gumayusi, but they have to trade Cream. Jackie's still alive for a little bit more damage as Keria, Owner, and Doran want some more. Hong gets almost caught by the hostile takeover, but it's 369 focused instead. T1, their carries might be down, but they still find another kill. Doran goes on a rampage, and the 3 remaining men on T1 knock down the tier 2.
369 survives for so long, but it's only so he can shed more tears as T1 continue to buckle the knees of top esports. There is little that they can do in this scenario. They just don't have enough damage.
I mean, top esports are coming very close in a number of these fights, but as you said, Dagda, they're just a little too behind in the gold. Very forced play comes through from T1. A nice execution onto Faker, ends up being traded with Kanavi. Meanwhile, underneath the tower here, you've got Doran and Ona tanking so many tower shots. Cream with a good ulti, 369 with a good ulti of his own, but then Cream closes the gap too much. The target focus from T1 allows them to get the kill onto Cream, and then it's just a retreat from the side of top esports.
Once again, T1 taking control over the topside river. They will immediately start up the Baron. They eliminated IG in the only play-ins game at Worlds 2025. They eliminated AL in the quarters. They're about to eliminate top esports here in the semifinals. Kanavi takes the arrow, and there's no way he's getting away from that one. The Baron secured by T1. There's no neutral objectives to care about on the map right now, and there's 35 seconds until the enemy jungler is back alive.
T1 and eliminations at Worlds are just a different beast altogether, and top esports are all too familiar with it. Quarterfinals, semifinals, it does not matter. T1 only see victory.
T1 with the Baron pushing into the enemy base now. Doran happy to tank the turret. T1 continuing their push straight through that mid lane inhibitor. Sidewaves not really set up for a successful multi-lane push. So T1's just gonna keep going straight for the Nexus. Here comes the Grand Starfall, and Jackie's already down. Hung goes with them. The focus fire into 369 as Cream and Kanavi scramble to stay alive, but nobody on top Esports has anything to stop T1. It's only the mid laner left. They'll get the final kill. And yet again, the highest peaks of the LPL are merely stepping stones for the unkillable Demon King. Faker and T1 have set the stage for the World Finals Telecom War.